Shalom Aleichem to the 12 tribes that are scattered worldwide. We're not lost, we're scattered. And hey to the Gentiles that are following after Yah's righteousness. So, in this Mocha Modesty, Modest Journey episode, in us fleeing vanity, because that's what modesty is, we are fleeing vanity and idolatry. I want to talk about and expand upon marriage, right? We've been talking about marital breakthrough, marriage on this channel, things that have been a hindrance to why marriages are not working. And I really want to applaud men, melanated men in the community for speaking out against things that are counterproductive to our people, right? Like I told y'all, I don't do the gender war. I'm not, I appreciate some of the videos from the ladies that are, putting out there that there are wolves in the community and the things to watch out for. But you have to have proper balance with anything, right? You have to, in healing, there is proper balance, right? Even with the men. I don't even suggest y'all listen to some of them podcasts from them dudes that are single dudes who've never had successful relationships with women, because it's like some of that stuff can poison you. If you don't have maturity and you have not ascended into manhood or womanhood, you are still in vanity and idolatry, and that stuff can cause you to be hindered and not have successful relationships and healthy relationships. And we just have to be mature and have an understanding that we live in a wicked and fallen world. There are, it's only a few are righteous, right? And then there's, the wicked world that we live in, that it says in the Torah that, in the end times, men will be lovers, mankind will be lovers of themselves, covetous, no regard for the elder, no regard for the woman and the children. It will be no regard about that. We live in a society where it's selfie culture, where it's worship of self. We live in a society where women, they are inducted into that marine kingdom. That's why you see promotion of those mermaid movies. You see these women, they love the Starbucks, they love the weave and the makeup, and they love living in, like I said, girlhood and deception. They love that. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, I have videos on the channel where I talk about how those things can be a hindrance if you are actually trying to have a divine kingdom marriage. Those things could be a hindrance, and you have to go through deliverance to overcome those things. And Yah will help you when it's time for you to come to the realization about that, all right? But in this video, I want to talk about some of the things Tony Gaskins talked about in his video that he put up today. A lot of women are talking about that Minister Gaskins, I call him, he's urging men to get married. And a lot of women are pushing back. They're mad about that because, like I said, a lot of these women, and rightfully so, they have been hurt and lied to by men. I just made a video where I said that, women were designed and created for love in marriage. It's a desire inwardly that is put in women, right? Being a woman, when you ascend into womanhood, you understand that womanhood, the entirety of womanhood, is sacrifice. So, who expands a little bit more on that? The beautiful lady on Witness Our Divine, and also the man on there, they talk about the dynamics of getting back to your culture and marriage and the importance of marriage, right? Because a lot of marriages that are, melanated people fail in the West because your mindset is a Western mindset. The reasons why a lot of people get married are not righteous reasons, right? Like a lot of people, like I said, we're in that selfie culture, that instant gratification, and things that are given to you by the Most High come with sacrifice, and they come with building your character. They come with growth. They come with, it's not overnight success. When the Most High gives you something, he make you get fortified, right? He gets you to understand what it is he wants you to do when you get to that beautiful, I would say, the mountaintop. You built endurance to get to that. And a lot of women were in girlhood when they got married. When I say girlhood, it's a low state, because children are egocentric. They want instant gratification, and they don't understand that when you ascend into womanhood, it is sacrifice. Sacrifice is not a bad thing. It is actually a beautiful thing when you understand the importance of it as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, because literally what's happening in our community is you have men running from their role of providership, protectorship, headship, and actually what it takes to be a leader, and what, you know, they have to build, they have to work on those things and find purpose. And because a lot of them, Tony Gaskins talks about this, because a lot of them do not have Yah, they don't have light, and they do not know their purpose, they're miserable. So they do boyhood like things where they're running through the streets with their woes. They're running through women like football teams. And they're joining themselves to women that's siren spirited, marine spirited, and they're joining themselves, joining themselves with harlots. This is why. And how do we know this? A lot of them are obsessed with the so-called modern woman, because those women are siren spirited women. A lot of times the women that they choose to focus on are the women that they're lusting after and coveting. And then a lot of like women, they look online and they see these couples that are relationship goal, transactional. A lot of these people don't even really like each other, don't even really know each other. And even with the Rona gal, y'all know what happened when we had to stay inside for that whole 2 years, okay? People were with people that they didn't even know, right? Because they didn't have spiritual discernment. They don't wait to hear from Yah to know what it is that they should be doing or who they should be joined to. It's like a lot of people, they just, things that sometimes we think are good are wicked in the eyes of the Most High Yah. So you have to always keep that in mind and understand that, like when it comes to relationships, everybody that you meet is not who you're supposed to be with. You could be physically attracted to somebody, that does not mean that's your husband or your wife. You get what I'm saying? So you have men that they're online, they're lusting after these marine spirited sireness type of women, and you have things where the men are running from responsibility and ascending into manhood, because you have things like the passport bros, where relationships are so terrible these days that everything has become transactional. So I'm gonna play a little bit of his clip, and I want y'all to tell me in the comment section what y'all think about that, and I'm gonna come back with a little bit more of my commentary.
And they is down in marriage and they arguing with women. These are beta males, and they calling alpha males beta males. They calling real men simps. Come on, man. When you can love one woman, that's when you a real man. Any man could juggle women, because y'all boys paying for prostitutes. Y'all paying for strippers, and that is lame. That is lame. These women that's taking your money, they laughing at you. They laughing at you all the way to the bank. These porn stars, they laughing at you. These OnlyFans women, they laughing at you. They is laughing at you. I'm telling you. Listen. It's women who, because I'm faithful to my wife, they respect me and they support me more. I got women that support me more because they saying, stay faithful. Stay faithful. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, it's no women in my DMs trying to get me to sleep with them. So when God's telling y'all that, oh, you can't trust these women, all these women is HOs, none of these women, that is a lie. I don't have a single woman. And I look better than a lot of men out here. I got more money than a lot of men out here. I ain't got a single woman coming on to me. Because the nature of a woman is pure. The nature of a woman is clean. The nature of a woman is created for love. You need to find a wife, and you need to be faithful to that wife. You need to be faithful to your kids. You need to be faithful to God, and your life gonna be changed for the better. And I'm guaranteeing you that.
I would definitely say that that's really good advice, coming from this melanated man. He's a married man. He's been married for a long time, and he's telling about the benefits of being married, because there's a lot of disgruntled people as I said, that they've probably married for the wrong reasons. They don't really have a clear understanding of what marriage is. It's like their understanding of marriage is from a Greek Euro perspective, and this is why a lot, like I said, a lot of marriages fail in the West because they're not built. The foundation, anytime you build your foundation on sand, okay, you're going to expect that foundation to collapse. When your foundation is not rooted in the things of the Most High Yah, is going to collapse. It is what it is. That house of cards with that faulty foundation is going to collapse. I love what he said about the nature of women. Like when you think about even when you go back to the story of grandmother Chawa, who y'all call Eve, right? The Christian people, y'all call her Eve. Her name is grandmother Chawa, right? The enemy went to her because, you know, women, like I said, women, I believe like Eve had pure intentions, but she was beguiled due to naivete, right? Naivete, when you think about it, I mean, like I said, that's a trait of girlhood, right? You're not necessarily thinking that what you're doing is wrong or there's going to be these serious implications. It's like curiosity, right? So even her curiosity is what really got her beguiled, right? Not necessarily that she just was this like evil person that was trying to, create all these problems for mankind. Now the Most High, what happened is the Most High went to Adam because he gave Adam the instruction, right? This was a safeguard. He gave Adam, blood of the soil, instructions to safeguard, look after the garden and what not to do. And he was supposed to instill and pass that down, those values in the law, to grandmother Chawa, right? To help protect her in her thought process. But Adam being so enamored with, her beauty and scared that Abaya was going to take his helpmate away from him, he decided to go along with Eve instead of standing up for righteousness and being like, no, the Father told me that, I was in charge and we're not to do this because this is the word of Yah. So he kind of, this is why men kind of run from the whole protector providership thing, because it started in the beginning when Yah was like, Adam, where are you? And Adam's excuse for what why they sinned was, oh, it was this woman that you gave me. And this is what you hear men constantly saying. And then you have men with the lame cop out, oh, there's no righteous women, and all women have this type of nature. And that's a lie from the pit of hell. All women are not 304s. All women are not wanting to spread it all around and all of this stuff. And like I said, even the so-called females that are on front display with some of this activity as far as entertainer wise, some of those are demonic entities that are masquerading in the feminine form to, number one, trick and beguile men, right? The whole point of the enemy is to bring in confusion and to bring in perverse thought process to kind of corrupt the natural order that the Most High set forth. That is what his goal is. The enemy's goal is, right? So, women, when the Most High put woman here, her nature was pure. And then the enemy started giving her things like, because he saw the power that she had. Even though she's the weaker vessel, he saw how powerful her influence was. Women's influence, do not ever get that twisted. We are the weaker vessel, but our influence is very powerful. And that's why the Most High wanted to kind of protect. He does protect us sometimes from even ourselves. You get what I'm saying? So the goal was to have men to safeguard, but men dropped the ball in that area. And Eve also, like I said, with her grandmother Chawa, with her pure intentions, even when Adam, he was so distraught where, he was taken out, she begged the Most High. She was like, please, Father. Like, that's how much love that she had for our grandfather Adam, that she was like, oh no, like, she kind of pleaded to the Father And the Most High had, heard that, that sacrifice and that plea, right? And the same thing we are instructed to do today for our men, even though a lot of them are like the prodigal. As women, we are to not put up with the foolishness from them, because you don't, make no mistake, you don't get into sin because your man is getting into sin. What you do is you go and plead to the Most High for him to make things right. And even if the Most High have to enact judgment to make things right, you want to make sure that you're on the right side of judgment, ladies. Like, don't ever get like, some of these women, because there's stories about that too, where women got with their wicked husbands in the Torah and it caused some things. You better stand up and be like Abigail, honey, who saved her people. Even her husband was so bugged out. She was like, you ain't bringing no curses down here off of me, sir. You better get right. And she made it right on behalf of her husband. It's just about being a righteous, stand-up individual. But I have to applaud this when I see melanated men. Like I said, Tony Gaskins, and even the man on the Shoemake Way, he's married, and he makes videos talking about how men need to start getting back to the Most High and following the things of Torah, so that they could find their purpose. Because they're what it is they're running from their purpose, and they're running from their role and responsibility. And it's almost like a rebellion. It is a rebellious type of spirit where they're running from that. And then, like I said, the jealousy that they have because the woman is the weaker vessel, which means that the level of accountability is different. There's a jealousy there because of that. There's that serpentine type of jealousy because the enemy ended up crawling on his belly and being punished, and, jealous of the woman's seed. And to sit up there, like Tony Gaskins said, and to say that every woman is just this terrible being because, a lot of these men, they lust after these siren-spirited women. And you could clearly look at some of these women, like long witch nails, the wigs that alter their thought process, because like I said, a lot of those wigs come from cultures where they worship other deities and they sacrifice to those gods, and then the women are putting those burdens on their head and all of that possession that goes on. Look at the show Hulu, that the movie that was on Hulu, Bad Hair. Like, they're clearly showing you in plain sight that that's the sort of stuff that happens with some of that stuff. That's why I plead to these sisters. I'm like, yo, if you're going to wear wigs and stuff, Brazilian wool or something that is not going to be somewhere communicating with your DNA, okay? Like, and wool is a similar complex to your hair, right? So, if you are melanated and a Yasharelite woman and you like to do things like braids until you eventually kind of get delivered out of all of that stuff, I would say do not do that human hair, okay? Please don't do that human hair. But I'm loving how he talked about finding purpose. How he talked about how this can make you successful. Like, men love, like, finding your purpose in Yah, loving one woman, because that is the perfect will of the Most High. I don't care that you want to hear those stories about Solomon and David and all of that stuff. The Most High at that point was tolerating that stuff. And again, those were men that were of the woman's seed. They were of the, even though they were Yasharelite, they were set apart. Because you notice, all the Yasharelite people ain't have their name in the Lamb book. Okay, make no mistake. So these were men that, yeah, they were sinning and getting into stuff, but the Most High, they had, you got to realize, you have already existed before you came into this physical realm. So these people were already predestined and preordained before they came into the womb and out into this physical realm. So they were already of the correct seed line. Now, that does not excuse their sins, because the Most High did, punish some of these people for their sins. But all of that polygyny and multi-women and all the rest of that, these people have been practicing polygyny, and it has failed them every time. The Most High's perfect will is to get you back to the original blueprint of the garden, one man, one woman, the Most High as their head, and that relationship is a relationship that was not going to be able to be broken. As soon as you start trying to add other people to that relationship, like Satan being a strange woman or the strange strong man, I wouldn't even call him a strong man, but the strange, that's when you start having problems in your relationship. And it don't always, ladies, it don't always have to be a strange woman. It could be just other things that these men get into, or even if a woman gets into some of this stuff, fellas, that when you start bringing things that are worshiping anything other than the Most High in your relationships, that is what causes these failures. If you want a relationship that lasts, it has to be founded on the principles, and your foundation has to be founded on the principles of the Most High Yah, and you have to have a connection to Abba Yah to keep it going. There is no other way. Y'all have tried it every other way, and it has flopped. So y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comment section below. And I just want to quickly say, I don't know why there's women that is so against what he's saying. There's women literally against what he's saying. And I think it's because, like I said, a lot of these women, not all, but a lot of them are to the point where, like I said, they're going in another direction that they don't want to go into. And then you have women that they just are so gone that they... Listen to me. There are wicked people of all nations, okay? And I know it's a large population of our men that ain't right, but there are some of our men that do right? That's not gonna make me look at another nation of people and be like, okay, let me try that. These are the same people, some of these other nations that put you in transatlantic, that and all of this, like I said, was allowed by the Most High because we had sinned and was into wickedness. But they put you in all kind of situations, and you want to promote that over your own men. There's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. Like, me knowing history would never make me want to be like, yeah, like, okay, the melanated man is so this, let me go in another direction over here and think that's going to be better. Like, the perception, like I said, and the I wouldn't say perception, the delusion is real. Like, some of these women are like gone, y'all. I really want y'all to know. That's why I said, don't get lost in the sauce. Men, some of these men are gone and they lost in the sauce. Don't fall into the trap. Do not fall into the trap, y'all. Oh, and let me just address one thing before I get out of here with y'all. Like, the people that have a problem with me being accepting of who I am and my culture. I am a Northeast African, West Asian, Afro-Asiatic. I know who I am. There's some people that have an issue with that. I don't care about it. I'm going to get up here in my dashiki. I'm going to get up here in my gele. I'm going to get up here in attire that is fitting, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my indigenous heritage also. I'm proud of it all. So if you got a problem with that, that's not my fault that you got identity issues, sweetheart. And some of y'all don't have this. A lot of people have disfavor upon they look and how they look because they're trying to be something that they're not. And the Most High is not blessing that. So since Toucan Sam had a problem with how I look, you need to check yourself, because that's why you don't have no favor sprinkled upon your look. Period. Now let me get on out of here, y'all. I just had to address that. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. See y'all soon on the next video. Much love. Shalom.